Hi, I'm Wayne Bryan, producing artistic director for Music Theater Wichita. I also get to be the director of Big Fish, whose regional premiere we are presenting here. And we're so excited to be working on this unique and terrific recent Broadway musical, based on a novel by Daniel Wallace and a film directed by Tim Burton, which featured a screenplay by John August. The stage play is written by John August, the libretto, and Andrew Lippa, the music and lyrics. Fascinating, wonderful, funny, heartwarming story about salesman Edward Bloom, who leaves his wife Sandra behind to raise their son Will every time he goes out on the road. When he comes back, he has great adventures to tell.
What drew me to the show, I saw it on Broadway and was just I'm overcome. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. It's hard to put this show into words, but you know, when I try to sum it up in a line, it's almost impossible, but I often say to people that, you know, what we do in theater is we try to create life, but leave the boring bits out. And this show, what this show does that's so magical is that it heightens that beyond belief. It's telling giant stories. Edward Bloom is this eternal optimist who, you know, just, I mean, him walking down the road turns into traversing mountains and meeting giants, and, you know, it's just, nothing is simple with this man. I think that is ultimately what Edward is trying to say throughout the whole show, is that you write your own story, and you, and it's up to you, you know, no matter what life throws at you, you know, you can be the hero of every story. And I think that's really what he's trying to teach his son.
Be the hero of your story if you can. Be the champion in the fight, not just the man. Don't depend on other people to put paper next to pen. Be the hero of your story, boy, and then you can rise to be the hero.
I'm Kim Huber, and I play Sandra Bloom in Big Fish, and I'm looking forward to everything in the show because I get to do everything. I get to be an ingenue again, falling in love, and I get to have a young son, an old son, and grow old with my love. It's so fun for me because I rarely get to do anything contemporary, and I love singing this style of music, but yet it has such a, but it's still very theatrical. It's not a pop music, and it's all so moving. It makes it. I'm hearing songs, and I'm just in the corner crying. Each one of them just moves me. It's not necessarily because it's sad. It just does that trigger. There's something very true to the music and to the words, and because it's about family, and we all know all these people, and we have these people in our lives, and there's always one line here or there that just rings true and really moves me.
There are two men in my life, him and you. There are two men who'll be speaking when I'm through. There are few men like your dad, not easy to define. I know he isn't perfect, but he's mine.
Will is easily maybe misunderstood because he's very critical of his father, and he's very confused. But I think that Andrew Lippa wrote some great songs for Will to sing. There's a song in Act 1 that might be my favorite song I've ever sung. I mean, it is unbelievable, and you kind of get to hear Will's thoughts, and so he becomes human, and I think very relatable and approachable, and you hopefully kind of root for that side of the story as well, and want him to find some satisfaction.
I knew the man, but he's a stranger. My father is a stranger I know very well. A puzzling shell, hopeful. What's on its way may help us both to grow. But I don't know when I'll understand what made him wild. I don't know why he has the urge to fly.
I play a character in the show who is somebody who I'm not at all. He's a character that says whatever he wants to say, which is a wonderful part to play. If he thinks you stink, you stink. If he says you're wonderful, he says you're wonderful, and he holds nothing back.
I am 6'6" in regular shoes, and in my Carl shoes, I'm over 10 feet. So I'm on painter stilts for the show. In the magical fantasy world, I'm definitely a giant. When I first put the stilts on, I had to learn to walk. That was my first challenge, and then I have progressed further and further and worked originally with Peggy on what my limitations would be in those stilts, and now I feel comfortable enough to be dancing and being a very active part of those production numbers.
Say, come tomorrow, you'll be free of who you are today. Action and adventure when you change your fixed abode. Gonna live life out there on the road. Now wouldn't you rather be like royalty, respected like a king, where it's all said?
Oh, it speaks to me because each of these fantasies spins out of the head of Edward Bloom, and he's painting it for his son, for his wife, for anyone he meets, for everybody on his road, and all of these stories are intimately attached to his inner life. So the storytelling of the people he meets in his real life blooms out into a fantasy sequence that is, though fantastical, always deeply connected on a very, very cellular level to Edward's inner life.
What's your concern? Are you scared of hearing one thing new when you could learn something secret that could help you through? In one good turn, I can show you counterfeit from true. Life begins when you know how it ends, and yours is no ordinary life. You become important, you're the bravest man around. You're the kind with virtue, always finding common ground. You climb each hill in front of you.